Welcome to my review of the Marvel's The Defenders Season 1. Yeah, this is only just 8 episodes. Yeah, I just finished watching it. I gotta hand it to basically people behind this. This was great. It followed up and stuff basically built up in Daredevil. Not much stuff in the other. I think it was just Daredevil and Iron Fist. Basically, this is mostly follow up on. I mean, there's references to. There's like one reference to events of to the Luke Cage series in the opening episode, and there's a couple references to Jessica Jones. There's about 2 or 3 that they reference that, but mostly it's just referencing what happened in Daredevil and Iron Fist. I gotta hand it to basically them about how they handled Iron Fist. They handled him a lot better than they did with him in his own show. For one thing, he's not so heavily thing of like, I gotta kill the hand, I gotta kill the hand. Yeah, he knows he has to do it, but he doesn't have to repeatedly say it almost every episode. I mean, yeah, he knows the hand inside out, and they make some changes to basically how the castle works, basically because they're referencing here. Apparently, at the start of the season, apparently they're all wiped out. Most of them, almost the entire group, off screen except for Stick himself. Yeah, Stick. Now, I had heard a rumor that they would not going to bring characters from Iron Fist into this very thing. They did bring one character. They brought in Colleen Wing. Claire Temple doesn't count because, well, she did appear on the show, yes, but she's not one of the characters essentially tied to that particular show. She's basically tied to the whole Netflix stuff, so yeah, just Colleen. Ward Mitchum is referenced, but he does not make a physical appearance in the show. The excuse that the reason why he's not there is that he's out of town on a business trip for a whole month. Seriously, he's out of town for a month. The Rand Corporation itself makes appearance in 1 episode. Yeah. Oh, they do bring back one other character who actually was, well, part of the actual show itself, Miss Bushido, who actually is from the Daredevil comic book. Yeah, he's actually from Daredevil comic book. He's a character by the awesome Andy Diggle. I've never met him, by the way. But he created the character during his year run on Daredevil. And like in the show, they say he's from South America, which that's technically what he was in the comic books. In the comic books, he was a daimyo of South America. And so, yeah, they kept the fact he's from South America, which is great. As for the whole thing with Alexandra herself, which was the big mystery surrounding this whole thing, what the character essentially is, they don't reveal much about her aside from the fact she's immortal and the fact she's lived since apparently her along with the other founding all the other fingers of the hand have basically been there since the beginning, and not much is revealed about her. As far as I can tell, she's not an original. She's basically original character of the show. As a matter of fact, aside from Bushido, the other 4 fingers are original to the Netflix universe because, I mean, yeah, Gao was in Iron Fist and, of course, Daredevil Season 1 and 2. But as far as I can tell, this season is actually the first time she's ever met Jessica Jones. So, of course, I haven't watched Luke Cage's. She's heard of Luke Cage, but I don't think she ever met him prior to the series. And, let's see. When the thing also and you see Elektra, yeah, they do give a pretty good explanation of how they bring her back. In the comics, it was a slightly different way of how they explain her resurrection. Because in the comics, she was killed by Bullseye. In the show, she was killed by an original character to Daredevil show, who get killed by, of all people, Stick. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, it's great the fact Gao is here, and she's essential to the plot. And she's basically, in all 8 episodes, she made a physical appearance in every episode. So yeah, out of all the fingers, she's the only one who actually does make an appearance in all the episodes. I mean, Bushido doesn't show up until like halfway through the season. Which, as for his resurrection, as for how he survived getting his head chopped off, or at least what happened to him in the Iron Fist series, yeah, that's not properly explained. He just shows up. Oh yeah, he's perfectly fine, and knows no wounds. Nope, no wounds, despite the fact Colleen killed him. Yeah, in their duel. And how he came back, never explained. And as for the guy who only speaks Japanese, not much is known about him aside from the fact that he was there when the hand was first formed. He has a thing for knives, and when he's first seen, he's carving up a bear. Yeah. But aside from Gao, who does a great job basically, because they do a pretty good job. They kind of explain her a little bit here and there, but it's not like with the I don't remember his name. He's from Japan. For him, they don't really properly explain him. He just has a fetish for knives. Yeah, as for how he's probably the only one of the five fingers. Him along with the Warlord are basically barely fleshed out in this whole season. That's one of the faults here, is that the villains are barely flat. I mean, Gao is basically fleshed out this whole thing. Her and Alexandra basically get the most character development throughout the whole season. But Bushido, well, he just, shows up at random, completely out of nowhere, with two of his goons, fights Colleen, doesn't do very much after that until he fights in the finale. Yeah. I guess that the reason why they did that because of all negative backlash against Iron Fist, so at least Colleen got a chance to do something, and she's seen all the episodes. She is not seen doing much. I get the reason why characters from Iron Fist were not treated very well here, like where half the time they just do nothing but stand around and do fight a couple times, because of the backlash against Iron Fist. That's the reason why that the characters from Iron Fist don't do jack squat. And it's kind of the same thing for Jessica Jones' characters. They only bring in two characters from her season. They bring in Trish Walker, and they also bring in Eric Darville's character, who actually is from the Alias comic book. Yeah, he's actually from the Alias comic book, except that in the comic book he's actually white. I don't have a problem with him changing his skin color because, well, he's never featured in the comics before, so why not? Trish, now, she did, in the Jessica Jones show, she did at one point have red hair, but it was a wig. Because in the comics she's a redhead, on the show she's a blonde. There is an explanation for that, because Jessica Jones' best friend is Carol Danvers, and they need a blonde of the show, so basically they gave it to Hellcat. Now, as for her actually doing anything, she does some stuff here and there, but not a lot. But at least she does a little bit more than the Iron Fist characters. Eric Darville's character, he does a little bit. He actually doesn't show up that much. He shows up for maybe 3 episodes, and that's it. Trish shows up for pretty much the same amount. I would say the only characters from the other shows are not the 4 main heroes, who actually open pretty much most of the series. I could probably say it's Misty Knight and Foggy Nelson. Those two are practically the only two who do show up in pretty much almost all 8 episodes, which, hey, at least got praised for that. Of course, Foggy doesn't. I mean, the first time he's seen, he's basically getting Luke Cage out of jail. Yep, which he's been there since the end of his own show, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. So yeah, and of course they do throw an offhand ref. Oh yeah, Turk, who's actually from the Daredevil show, who did show up on Luke Cage. Of course, Luke Cage runs into him, asking where Shades and Mula, I think her name is. Yeah, apparently they left town after Luke Cage went to jail. Yep. That's just the explanation why those two are not there. So the only characters who actually were originally to the Luke Cage show, who actually, part of the main cast do show up in this one. Claire. Okay. Just Misty Knight. Of course, Misty Knight, like in the comics, she basically loses her arm. Bushido's the one who cuts it off. Though, of course, it's close to a bomb, so at least it's kind of close to how she lost it in the comic books, though it's kind of implied she's going to get a mechanical arm, and it's going to be Danny Rand giving it to her instead of in the comics, where it was Stark Industries who gave her the robotic arm. So, yeah. So, it's kind of close here and there. And I gotta praise Misty Knight, basically the actress who plays her. She does a great job for what she's given. Um, she does what she's told to do, and she does a pretty good performance. The Captain can give two craps about. I do like the offhand reference, the fact that Tower, who actually first appeared in season 2 of Daredevil, of course he's black in the comics, he's white. Apparently he's DA now. Good for him. Got him good promotion, just like in the comics he became DA. Though in the comics, he ran against Foggy Nelson and won. Foggy Nelson was DA at that point. He beat Foggy Nelson for basically his election. Um, the final fight at the end of the season was great. I even love the music they threw in here, like some rock music here and there, especially the fight in the hole, which was awesome. It's one of two fights. Heck, they even have a hallway scene. You know, where all the characters are fighting in the hallway. They have that, and I believe in episode 2, I believe it is. Yeah. So at least that all the other shows do have one thing in common. I don't know what. Okay, Dad. I gotta wrap this up, but yeah, I'm doing part 2 of this because I gotta go eat dinner. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2 where I give more thoughts on Daredevil Defenders season 1. Okay, but until then, I will see you there. Bye.